Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amik and thank you so much for being here. So today I wanted to talk about productivity, time management and balancing every area of your life without sacrificing the other as a college student. Now I know a lot of the times when we talk about productivity and studying as a college student, we get images of sleepless nights, procrastination, overworking, studying right before an exam or scrolling through TikTok because you're just so stressed. But in this video, I want to illuminate all the different aspects of my life and time management techniques that I have learned that have allowed me to successfully balance every area of my life, such as playing tennis, working a part-time job, being a full-time student, managing life abroad, and also creating time for social relationships and friendships. I will also be touching down on some of the mistakes I have made throughout the years and the things I have learned in this process. So as usual, here are the list of things I'll be talking about, and each section of the video links it to the next, so I recommend watching it one after the other. But again, you can always watch whichever part you feel resonates with you the most. So one of the first things when it comes to being more productive is shifting your mindset. Now earlier I really used to think that productivity means studying all the time, studying 12 hours a day, always being on the go, hustling, can't have any time for socializing with others or for your side hustles or for your hobbies or things that bring you joy, because you have to dedicate all your time to studying and being quote-unquote productive. But over the years, I've found none of those beliefs to be true at all. Instead, when I started adopting better beliefs and habits, I saw my productivity tremendously increase, because the things that I was doing was naturally bringing me so much excitement, joy, fun in life that I wanted to do more of those things. So in my opinion, what productivity actually means is making the best use of your time, mental effort, energy and priority to do tasks that align with your values and beliefs. Intentionally craving out time to do the things that bring you fun, excitement, joy and fulfillment. So I believe productivity for us students means fueling our thirst for knowledge, curiosity, self-expression, growth, learning about new perspectives, critical thinking, and all these fun things that actually makes you want to learn and do things instead of just sitting and trying to remember facts about endless topics which makes no sense to you. So instead of productivity being something overly daunting, vicious cycle, soul-sucking thing to do, let's make productivity something really fun, enjoyable and accessible. As mentioned by one of the greatest productivity experts, Ali Abdul, increasing our productivity and finding purpose is closely aligned with choosing the right path which makes us feel good. Now the very next step when it comes to being more productive is brain dump. What this essentially means is writing down all your anxieties and things you have to do on a piece of paper or a Word document on your laptop or someplace external, rather than keep it all inside your mind. Now let me show you a good example so that you can understand this process a little bit better. Imagine this is your brain and you have a simple amount of working memory energy capacity to do all the necessary things such as decision making, memory, learning, problem solving. Now imagine if slowly I start putting more stuff in it, which essentially is all the things you keep in your mind. So this is all the things which occupies space in your mind, creating more stress and anxiety because you haven't offloaded any of it. So in your brain, all of this is currently taking up so much space without allowing you to leave any room for all the important things, which is actually problem solving, actually learning and actually making decisions or actually doing the tasks. So what brain dumping essentially does is every single thing which you need to get done, such as writing that assignment or finishing that essay or doing a presentation, you write it down on a piece of paper and take it out of your brain, so that now you have so much more space to go out there and do the task. Now I believe this is again one of the reasons why people get into the habit of procrastination and fear and anxiety, and you just don't want to go do it because mentally you just feel that the weight of that particular task or activity is so overbearing that you don't even want to go take the first step and do it because it's so heavy on your mind. So that's why, to make things easier for you, just write it down somewhere and break it down into as simple tasks as you can, actually progressing towards your ultimate goal rather than sitting and thinking about it and not doing anything. And now it helps us boost our focus levels, our concentration improves, helps us get far more organized because now we have every single thing out which we need to get done instead of in our brains. Okay, now the next thing which is so important is the energy management. I have struggled with this as well. Now I'm getting more intentional with my priority and time. So earlier I used to think that, okay, now I have this whole day now to do these tasks or assignments a week from now, so I have so much time. to do it. But honestly, when I knew I had so much more time, I ended up wasting it, rather than when I knew I just had a little amount of time, I just went through it and finished it. I really love this Parkinson's theory, which says work expands to fill time. As you know that the deadline for something is approaching a week from now. So you have a week's time to finish that task. But that task in itself just takes an hour or say maximum 2 hours to complete. But because you know you have a week's long time to finish that task, you procrastinate and wait till the very last moment to get it done. So now you understand that the work is increasing in its complexity and requiring you more time and resources to get it done than what would have initially required you to do. So I believe a lot of productivity comes with efficiently managing your cognitive energy load. Now every time we make a decision, we problem solve something, or we perform mental tasks, we are using a lot of our cognitive resources. And just like a phone's battery has limited amount of capacity, our mind and our brain also has a limited amount of capacity to complete certain tasks. And when the battery of our mind starts getting lower and lower, we start getting more distracted, not being focused, low on energy levels, low on motivation, and then we start procrastinating. And at times we also become very irritable and annoying. Now this is essentially why having a good amount of mental energy to get things done is so important for productivity. Now imagine you have a big task such as finishing an essay. Now usually when is the best time to tackle that essay? I would say early in the morning, because imagine at night you have had good nutritious meal, you have slept for 7 to 8 hours, you have woken up, and now you have given enough mental and physical rest to your body that you can wake up and do that task immediately without any distractions, because now your mind's battery is really full. But imagine if that same essay you decide to do in the evening at say like 9:30 at night. Now imagine you have made so many decisions already throughout the day, you have given your attention and energy to so many other things that by the time it's evening, you are exhausted, you're tired, you're low on energy, you're low on motivation, and you just don't want to do it. So that is why tackling the most important tasks you have to get done early in the morning is one of the great ways to increase your productivity and just get things done. But again, not to call out any late night people, just do tasks when you know you have a lot of mental and physical energy to get it done. The basis of having good amount of energy levels comes with having a good night's sleep, having good nutrition, exercising well, studying in environments where you know you are focused and it's noise free and there's not a lot of distractions, and having reduced stress levels. The next thing, which is also very important, is your priority management. Our whole goal is to use our maximized level of energy to get the most important thing done. So imagine you have a maths exam due this Friday and a science exam due Monday or Tuesday. So essentially, what is closer to your deadline? The math exam, which is on Friday. So that is your number one priority. So there's no point studying for your science exam because you know it is more further in the deadline. Now again, there are a lot of other things which also come into picture, but essentially priority means understanding what is the most important task for you to get done given the time constraints and limitations you have. And one of the great tools to enhance your priority management is the Eisenhower matrix. Now this matrix is very helpful to make you understand what tasks are in your priority and which are not in your priority. Essentially what you do in this matrix, remember when you brain dump all the things, so use that brain dump to put all those tasks in these 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is the task which is the most important and which is the most urgent to get done. So say you have a math exam due this Friday. That is the thing you have to focus your energy and time right now. You put it in that quadrant and then you just do it right away. The second quadrant is where you know the tasks has not a lot of urgency but a lot of importance. So what you do in this task is you schedule it to do it. Now, because I know again the science exam which is coming this Monday, it is important but it's not extremely urgent to get me to working on it right now. So what I do is I schedule it, say tomorrow 10 a.m. in the morning I'm going to study for 3 hours. And so I schedule that. Now in the third quadrant is where you have not so important task but it has a certain level of urgency to it. Now say in your priority list you have the maths exam, the science exam, but then suddenly your mom asks you to go to the grocery store and get something from there. It is not that important, but just because your mom told you, you know it is urgent to get done. You know, you can delegate it to someone else, or you can ask a little brother, or you can just order it online or something. But essentially the point of the tasks in this quadrant is you delegate it to someone else. so that you don't have to do it. You're giving your time and energy to those important tasks, which are basically studying for your maths and science exam. And again, every task which comes in your fourth quadrant, which is not urgent and not important, you just basically delete it. Now, scrolling on Instagram, wasting your time on things which are not relevant or important, just delete it. Your mind and your time is really precious to you. So tasks which are not helping you, not having any sorts of meaning to you, just delete them. Now, once you effectively manage your priorities, your energy levels, your whole time management skills would improve tremendously. Okay, so now you know how to manage your energy levels, find out the things that are most meaningful to you, and now you have prioritized all the important things you need to get done. Next step in this process is time blocking. Now, what this essentially means is scheduling each part of your day with the activity that you have marked as a priority or important thing in your life. In my opinion, time blocking is one of the great ways to reclaim your own sense of power and autonomy over your time, and it really helps you become more productive because now visually you can see how each and every hour of your day is spent in doing what kind of activity. You can visually see your whole week at a glance, and now you know how much energy and time you're investing in each single activity. And then you can also write if those activities are giving you energy or if they're not giving you energy. You start time blocking. First, just write down all the things over which you don't have any control. So your class timings, you don't have much control over that. Or when you go for your tuition classes, or say your mom suddenly tells you, oh, tomorrow you need to go and meet this person. So just time block those things so that you know these are the things over which you have no control and you can't really do much with that time. Now, whatever left is the time you have in your hands to intentionally dedicate, make time for the things that are most valuable and of priority to you. For students, what you can actually do is during that time, you can prioritize time for studying, writing that essay, or working on that project a week from now. You give a specific time throughout the day when you feel like you will have the most amount of energy to actually finish that task. Really saved me a lot of time is Pomodoro technique. Honestly, when you apply it on a regular basis, it saves you so much of mental hassle. When you know a task is really extensive or it's overbearing or it's too much, you just don't want to get started. So essentially with the Pomodoro technique, what you do is you just give 25 minutes of your time to that particular task. So you open the timer app in your phone, set a time for 25 minutes and just start doing. Take a 5-minute break. Doing it in no time, you would realize that, oh, you're actually in the process of getting it done. You're actually in that energy and motion of now doing the thing instead of just sitting and thinking endlessly in your mind about how that task is so difficult. That helps you minimize all your distraction levels and boost your focus, because you know you're just going to do the task for 25 minutes, and 25 minutes, it's not that long honestly, and chances are once you actually get started with it, you don't want to stop and then you just keep going. The concept of deep work. Now, Cal Newport is a very famous author who has written a book on that. Now, essentially in his book, he talks a lot about this concept of deep work and how it's helpful to your productivity. So what this concept of deep work actually means is you take out specific time out of your day for deep work tasks, which means those kind of tasks which require a lot of high mental cognitive energy, difficult topics to study, or problem solving, or any particular task which requires a lot of mental energy. And this 1 hour has to be extremely focused, uninterrupted, and there has to be no distractions or disruptions. So just put 3 hours of deep work in one day and start slow and gradually increase it depending on how much focus, energy levels, and concentration levels you feel like you have on that particular day. Now, the very last step to being productive is to not be so productive all the time. I know this is so contrary to what I have been saying so long, but again, this is so important. Rewarding yourself consistently in this process is so important to be sustainable with productivity. There's absolutely no point of working so much or studying all the time solely focused on one goal or outcome without any fun activities, because if you do it consistently, then you're just going to be really burnt out and fatigued in this process, being hyper focused on our goals. So taking a little bit of time each day to spend some time with your friend or family, or do some activity which you really enjoy doing, or watching your favorite show, or cooking your favorite item, are those little things you do every day which brings you so much happiness and meaning. So taking breaks is so important. It just means that you're doing everything in a very wholesome way. You're not sacrificing your work or career for your own personal development journey or your socializing time or your friendships. The whole point of being productive is having a well-rounded perspective. Also celebrate your wins. Now this is one thing I never used to do whenever I would accomplish all the tasks I had kept in my to-do list, or I had given an exam and performed really well, something really nice, and I achieved a milestone. I never used to celebrate because I was like, what's the point of it? I know I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do it again. And over the years I've realized celebrating your wins is so important, because you are acknowledging your own self for working so hard to reach that goal which you have always been dreaming about. It helps you boost your self-esteem, it gives you more confidence, tells you that you are standing up for yourself, you have recognized your wins, you are confident enough, and you keep promises to yourself. So just remember to always celebrate yourself. And again, when we prioritize our joy, our happiness, and those things which are actually so meaningful to us, life becomes just so much more amazing and beautiful and fulfilling. You just are not in that energy of overthinking, overworking, slogging, negativity. Instead, you're in this new energy of abundance, of happiness, of exploring, of joy, of excitement. I think in this video, that's all the things I want to talk about. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Then I hope it really helped you in some way.